Hello everyone and welcome to the weird, scary and horrible parts of humanity. Today we are looking at 9/11 hijacker Nawaf al-Hazmi, who hijacked American Airlines Flight 77 along with his younger brother Salem al-Hazmi, who we will analyse in a future video. One of 3 sets of brothers who participated as 9/11 hijackers. Again, this series isn't intended to undermine the horrors of 9/11 or in some way immortalise the cowards that are the hijackers. We merely intend to understand who these individuals are and what led them to take the lives of 2,996 innocent strangers and change the shape of the planet forever. But if anyone is offended, please feel free to leave a comment and I will cease the series. American Airlines Flight 77 was a Boeing 757-223 registration N644AA, departing from Washington Dulles International Airport at 8:20 AM, bound for Los Angeles, California, with the plane hijacked at 8:51 AM and the plane hitting the Pentagon, killing all 64 individuals on board, including the 5 hijackers, as well as 125 people in the Pentagon, and injuring 106 people in the Pentagon. Nawaf al-Hazmi was born on the 9th of August 1976 in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. His father, Muhammad Salim al-Hazmi, was a grocer. He was one of 3 kids, with an older brother becoming a police chief in Jizan, a port city and the capital city of the Jizan region in the southwest of Saudi Arabia. He had a pretty fucked up childhood. His father tried killing him as a child and as a result he had a long knife scar on his forearm, but unfortunately his father didn't succeed in killing him. In 1993 he travelled to Afghanistan. At the time, Afghanistan was in the midst of a civil war between the Islamic State of Afghanistan, Hezb-e Islami Gulbuddin, and the Taliban. The war, which lasted from the 28th of April 1992 until the 27th of September 1996, saw Taliban Haqqani network and al-Qaeda victory, with an estimated 26,759 people killed in the war. It is unknown what al-Hazmi travelled to Afghanistan for, but he could have been influenced by the actions of the Taliban even though he returned to his native Saudi Arabia. Throughout his childhood, he was friends with fellow American Airlines Flight 77 hijacker and Mecca native Khalid al-Mihdhar, pictured to the left. In 1995, when al-Hazmi was aged just 18, he went to fight with al-Mihdhar in the Bosnian War, a manifestation of the collapse of Yugoslavia after the disillusionment of the Soviet Union. The Bosnian War lasted from the 6th of April 1992 until the 14th of December 1995 and was fought between Bosnia and Herzegovina and Serbia. The war resulted in about 100,000 people being killed and over 2.2 million people being displaced. After the war ended at the end of 1995, al-Hazmi went to Afghanistan along with al-Mihdhar and his brother Salem al-Hazmi, who by this stage was aged just 15. There they partook in the Afghan Civil War, which took place between the 27th of September 1996 and the 7th of October 2001 and was fought between the Islamic State of Afghanistan and the Taliban. There the trio would join al-Qaeda. Nawaf al-Hazmi returned to his native Saudi Arabia. However, by this stage he had become involved in pretty high echelons within al-Qaeda. Osama bin Laden began holding al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar in high command. Bin Laden referred to al-Hazmi as al-Mihdhar's second-in-command, hoping that both would become pilots in the so-called plane operations mission, which at this stage was only in its infancy. During preparations of the so-called plane operations, al-Hazmi was known as Rabi'ah al-Makki. Eager to participate, he flew to Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and the US Consulate General in Jeddah. He got a B1, B2 tourist visa, which was obtained on the 3rd of April 1999, with Saudi Arabian citizens to this day requiring a visa to visit the United States of America. There are currently 2 US Consulate Generals in Saudi Arabia, one in Jeddah and one in Dhahran, with a US Embassy in Riyadh. Al-Hazmi used a passport that he had acquired a few weeks earlier in his application for the B1, B2 tourist visa to the United States of America. While this passport did have evidence of al-Qaeda association, the National Commission on the Terrorist Attacks on the United States of America noted that at the time immigration inspectors were not trained to realise these. In autumn 1999, he attended the Mes Aynak training camp in Afghanistan, where he was provided with advanced training. He then went along with Yemeni citizen Walid bin Attash to Karachi, Pakistan. Attash, who is currently held in Guantanamo Bay Detention Centre, was involved in the 1998 East Africa Embassy bombings and the USS Cole bombing in 2000 and was a bodyguard to Osama bin Laden, becoming known as an errand boy. The 1998 United States Embassy bombings took place on the 7th of August 1998 and saw the Taliban target the US Embassies in Nairobi, Kenya as well as Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, using truck bombs, leaving a combined 224 people dead and more than 4,000 people injured. The USS Cole bombing, suicide attack by al-Qaeda against the USS Cole, a guided missile destroyer, took place on the 12th of October 2000 when the boat was being refueled in Aden Harbour in Yemen and saw 17 people killed, including the 2 suicide attackers, with 37 people injured. In October 2001, after the attacks, the Associated Press reported that al-Hazmi was, in the fall of 1999, in Cody, Wyoming, having driven a truck delivering skylights to Cody High School, having driven from Canada. He was with an unknown male of Middle Eastern descent who was never identified. Frank Child, who worked at Cody High School, stated that he smelled of body odour and perfume. Cody felt so suspicious of the 2 men that he reported them to the FBI. They were both at Cody High School for about 45 minutes before leaving in the truck full of cardboard boxes, with their final question on how to get to Florida. Al-Hazmi travelled to Karachi with Abu Bara al-Yemeni, another Yemeni citizen who was slated to participate in the 9/11 terrorist attacks, but was unable to get a visa to travel to the United States of America. Until this day, Yemeni citizens require a visa to visit the United States of America. While in Karachi, he met with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, pictured, a Pakistani Islamist militant currently held in Guantanamo Bay, who at the time was the leader of al-Qaeda's propaganda operations. While in Karachi, Mohammed taught al-Hazmi on Western culture, travel, and some basic phrases in English. He then left for Malaysia with Mohammed doctoring his passport, making it seem that he had come from Saudi Arabia instead of from Pakistan, and also removed the fact that he had travelled to Afghanistan. He then flew with Emirates from Dubai in the United Arab Emirates to Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, attending the Al-Qaeda 2000 summit, arriving in Kuala Lumpur on the 5th of January 2000. Among others, al-Hazmi stayed in the hotel room of Yazid Sufat, a Malaysian member of Jemaah Islamiyah, who was arrested by Malaysian authorities in December 2001, released in 2008, detained in 2013, and sent to prison for 4 years. After his release, he was re-arrested in December 2017 under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, after Malaysian authorities found that he was recruiting fellow inmates in prison for al-Qaeda, before being released from the Sempang Renggam Detention Centre on the 19th of November 2019. During this time, Malaysian authorities took pictures of al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar together. The FBI informed the National Security Agency in 1999 that al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar are friends. Both were spied on by the FBI following the 1998 United States Embassy bombings by al-Qaeda. Moreover, the Saudi Arabian General Intelligence Presidency were aware that al-Hazmi was associated with al-Qaeda and the 1998 African Embassy bombings, and had attempted to smuggle weapons into Saudi Arabia in 1997. In turn, the Saudi Arabian General Intelligence Presidency informed the FBI. During the 2000 Malaysian summit, Malaysian authorities reported that al-Mihdhar spoke at length with Attash, and both met with Yemeni citizen Fad al-Qusor, who acted as a local coordinator, and purchased equipment including the boat used in the USS Cole attack, as well as obtained funding for the attack. On the 8th of January 2000, al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar flew to Bangkok, Thailand. However, exactly what they did in Thailand is unknown. Getting their frequent flyer points up, on the 15th of January 2000, al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar flew into Los Angeles International Airport, California, from Bangkok, having been admitted for a 6-month period into the United States of America, despite both being tracked by the National Security Agency and the FBI. There they met Omar al-Bayoumi at a restaurant at LAX, who was a true unknown. An FBI report declassified in September 2011 showed that al-Bayoumi had terrorist links and provided significant support to al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar, and communicated with a key logistics facilitator for Osama bin Laden. A further report declassified in March 2022 showed that there was a 50-50 chance that al-Bayoumi had advanced knowledge that the 9/11 terrorist attacks were going to occur. Al-Bayoumi, however, claimed that he was merely helping two out-of-place Saudi Arabian tourists and helped them move to San Diego, California, co-signed their lease for an apartment, with the duo renting an apartment at the Parkwood Apartments in Claremont Mesa in San Diego, with the duo moving into the apartment in February 2000. Al-Bayoumi also gave the duo $1,500 to help them pay their rent in San Diego, with the two of them disliking Los Angeles. In the same month, al-Mihdhar bought a used 1988 Toyota Corolla. Neighbours insisted that they were odd as they never got any furniture, slept on mattresses on the floor, carried briefcases, were always on their phone, were picked up by a limousine despite having the Toyota Corolla, and constantly played Flight Simulator 2000. That's not suspicious at all. While there, KPBS, the local PBS affiliate of San Diego, reported that the duo were quiet and kept to themselves, but allegedly they drank, went to nightclubs and strip clubs, with al-Hazmi wanting to marry one of the strippers. All of this deeply contradicted the teachings of Islam and al-Qaeda. They both attended the Masjid al-Ribat mosque, with Imam Anwar al-Awlaki pictured overseeing the mosque. The trio held closed-door meetings, leading to the FBI believing that al-Awlaki knew about the 9/11 terrorist attacks in advance, and the trio fostered a close relationship. Al-Hazmi got a part-time job through the Masjid al-Ribat mosque, washing cars at a local Texaco gas station. On the 4th of April, the duo took a flight lesson at the National Air College in San Diego, the longest continually open flight training school in San Diego, and on the 5th of May took a 1-hour lesson at Sorby Flight Club, before an additional lesson on the 10th of May, but both made for crab pilots with poor English skills. Their flight instructor, Richard Garza, was suspicious of both men when they both offered him extra money to teach them how to fly jets. However, he didn't report them to the FAA. Garza would later state that they were impatient students who wanted to learn how to fly jets, specifically Boeings. Pakistani citizen Omar al-Baluchi, pictured, who is currently in Guantanamo Bay with charges of facilitating 9/11 and acting as a courier to Osama bin Laden, received $5,000 on the 18th of April 2000 from al-Hazmi. At the end of May 2000, al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar moved to Lemon Grove, California, with al-Mihdhar abandoning al-Hazmi to visit his wife Hoda al-Hada in Sanas, Yemen, on the 10th of June 2000, as well as transferring ownership of the Toyota Corolla to al-Hazmi. During the next few months, the New York Times alleged in 2021 that al-Hazmi was looking for a wife, and computer searches suggested that he was looking for a Mexican woman who would convert to Islam, with little interest in finding an American woman and no interest in learning about American culture. On the 12th of July 2000, al-Hazmi filed an extension to his B1-B2 visa, which amazingly was granted until January 2001. However, he did not get any further extension, and he was in the United States of America illegally at the time of 9/11. What happened to al-Hazmi in the next few months is unknown. However, in September 2000, he moved with al-Mihdhar into the house of FBI informant Abdul Sattar Sheikh in Lemon Grove, with Sheikh called the FBI's best chance to uncover September 11 before it happened by the Joint Inquiry into Intelligence Community Activities before and after the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, with Sheikh an asset of the FBI's San Diego field office from the 14th of May 1994 until July 2003. However, Sheikh did not see the pair as suspicious, with the pair leaving his apartment in December 2000. Fellow American Airlines Flight 77 hijacker Honey Hanjo, who is pictured, arrived in San Diego in early December 2000, with Hanjo and al-Hazmi travelling to Phoenix, Arizona, where he took refresher flight training classes. On the 12th of December 2000, they arrived in Mesa, Arizona, with both signing a lease at an apartment in the Indian Springs Village, moving in on the 9th of January 2001. In March 2001, al-Hazmi received a shipment of VHS tapes. It was still 2001, kids, but the VHS tapes on how to fly Boeing 747 and Boeing 77s. He also received a road atlas, a map of New York, and a world aeronautical chart. On the 30th of March 2001, al-Hazmi noted to his utility company that he might be moving to another state or back to his native Saudi Arabia. During their cross-country trip in Toyota Corolla on the 1st of April 2001, Oklahoma police officer C.L. Parkins pulled the car over. Al-Hazmi was driving over the speed limit and he received an additional citation for failing to wear a seatbelt with a $138 fine. A routine inspection of al-Hazmi's Californian driver's license by Officer Parkins didn't find anything, even though his name was known by the National Security Agency as well as the FBI, combined with the fact that by now he was in the country illegally because his tourist visa had expired. The duo moved in with al-Mihdhar and attended the Dar al-Hijra mosque, which was overseen by al-Awlaki, having moved there in January 2001, with the trio all attending al-Awlaki's sermons. On the 3rd of April 2001, he was recorded using an ATM in Fort Royal, Virginia, with the duo arriving in Falls Church, Virginia, the next day, meeting a Jordanian man named Ayad al-Ribat at a 7-Eleven who helped them rent an apartment in Alexandria, Virginia. They eventually moved to Fairfax, Virginia. On the 1st of May 2001, al-Hazmi reported that a man had tried to take his wallet to police outside his home, but he signed a statement of release indicating that he did not want the stealing to be investigated. The next day, United Airlines Flight 175 hijacker Ahmed al-Ghamdi, who was pictured, and fellow American Airlines Flight 77 hijacker Majed Mohed arrived in Virginia and moved in with them. On the 8th of May 2001, al-Ghababa suggested to al-Hazmi and al-Mihdhar that they move with him to Fairfield, Connecticut. It was alleged that while in Fairfield, al-Ghababa gave them fake IDs. They stayed for 4 days in Fairfield at the Fairfield Motor Inn, which has since closed. Unable to find accommodation in Fairfield, he moved in with Mojed and al-Mihdhar, as well as American Airlines Flight 11 hijacker Abdulaziz al-Omari, into a property in Paterson, New Jersey. On the 25th of June 2001, he obtained a driver's license in Florida, noting that he lived in Delray Beach, Florida. On the 30th of June 2001, al-Hazmi's Toyota Corolla was involved in a minor traffic accident on the eastbound George Washington Bridge, which connects Fort Lee, New Jersey with Upper Manhattan. On the 10th of July 2001, he obtained a USA ID card. On the 2nd of August, he got a Virginia driver's license and made a request for it to be reissued on the 7th of September 2001, 4 days before the attack. On the 20th of July 2001, al-Hazmi flew with Hunjo on a practice flight from Fairfield, New Jersey, to Montgomery County Air Park in Maryland. Throughout the summer of 2001, al-Hazmi met with Mohammed Atta, pictured, an American Airlines Flight 11 hijacker, on a monthly basis to discuss the process of the operation and final preparations for the attack. Moreover, along with al-Hazmi, Atta, Zayed Jarrahi, a United Airlines Flight 93 hijacker, Hunjo, and Marwan al-Sheikhi, a United Airlines Flight 175 hijacker, got their frequent flyer miles up and made several trips to Las Vegas, Nevada. They all travelled at least 6 times to Las Vegas throughout summer 2001. There, the 6 deeply contradicted the rules of al-Qaeda and the teachings of Islam by drinking, gambling, and even paid strippers for lap dances. However, stripper Samantha, with her last name not given, of the Olympic Garden Topless Cabaret, interviewed in October 2001 by the San Francisco Gate, noted that the 6 did not look evil. However, beyond lap dances, there was no evidence that they did anything else with the strippers, and it is believed that al-Hazmi died a virgin. Moreover, there was no evidence that they took flying lessons while in Las Vegas or anywhere in Nevada. After 9/11, a Days Inn employee told the FBI on the 26th of October 2001 that she recognized al-Hazmi as staying at the hotel, but stated that he never gave his name. As 2001 rolled along, international authorities were getting close to him. On the 23rd of August, Mossad reported 19 names to the CIA, who they believed were planning an attack on the United States of America. Among these names were Atta, al-Mihdhar, al-Shireh, and al-Hazmi, but no connection was made to the fact that al-Hazmi was already on FBI and NSA lists. On the same day, he was added to an Immigration and Naturalization Services list, banning him from entering the United States of America. However, this wasn't all that useful as he was already in the country. On the 27th of August 2001, both al-Hazmi brothers purchased tickets for American Airlines Flight 77 on Travelocity.com using Nawaf's credit card. The duo would be seated aboard American Airlines Flight 77 in first class in seats 5E and 5F. Both gave their real names in booking the flights, as the FAA was never informed that al-Hazmi was on a terrorist watch list. On the 1st of September 2001, al-Hazmi checked into room 7 at Pindell Motel in Laurel, Maryland, listing his driver's license number as 3402142D, and gave a New York hotel as his permanent address. United Airlines Flight 93 hijacker Zayed Jarrah, pictured to the right, checked into the same hotel on the 27th of August 2001. On the 10th of September 2001, al-Hazmi checked into the Residence Inn by Marriott, Herndon, Reston. The hotel has since closed. It is 7 miles or a 14-minute drive to Washington Dulles International Airport. Ironically, government Saudi official Saleh ibn Abdul Rahman Hussein stayed at the hotel on the same night, leading to him being questioned by the FBI, but there was no evidence that he met the hijackers or knew of the 9/11 terrorist plot. In February 2002, Hussein would become president of the affairs of the holy mosques Masjid al-Haram Grand Mosque in Mecca and the Al-Masjid al-Nabawi Prophet's Mosque in Medina. On the 11th of September 2001, he arrived at Washington Dulles International Airport, checking in for American Airlines Flight 77 along with the other American Airlines Flight 77 hijackers. He boarded the Boeing 757 at 7:50 a.m. through gate D26, with the flight departing 10 minutes later than its scheduled 8:10 a.m. departure time at 8:20 a.m. At 8:54 a.m. the flight began to deviate from its flight path and turned south, with Hanjor setting the flight's autopilot to head back to Washington, D.C. The cockpit voice recorder was too badly damaged and charred to retrieve any information. However, it is assumed that Hanjor assumed control of the aircraft, having been the only one of the 5 hijackers to undergo any form of extensive flight training. At 9:29 a.m, Hanjor disengaged the autopilot and took manual control of the plane. 5 miles west-southwest of the Pentagon, the Boeing 757 made a 330-degree spiral turn clockwise, descending 2,200 feet, pointing towards the Pentagon. Advancing the throttles to full power, Hanjor began diving towards the Pentagon. The wings clipped 5 street lights, with the right wing striking a portable generator, before smashing into the Pentagon, crashing into the western flank at 9:37 a.m. and 46 seconds. On the 12th of September 2001, al-Hazmi's 1988 Toyota Corolla was found in the Washington Dulles International Airport's hourly parking lot, with a letter written by Atta inside the car, as well as maps of Washington, D.C. and New York, and a cashier's check made out to a Phoenix flight school, 4 drawings of a Boeing 757 cockpit, a box cutter, and a page with notes and phone numbers. Thank you for watching. Please do yourself a favour and hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to inform yourself when new videos come out. Also, why not hit that like button and leave a nice comment? It helps more than you know, and your support is truly appreciated. Until next time, stay awesome, stay classy, be kind to everyone you meet, have an amazing day, and remember that truth is always more interesting than fiction.